Welcome to episode 9 of ESF Podcast. Today I'm joined by James Scott, Irish Under-17 Women's Manager. James, welcome.
Thanks very much. Great to be here.
So if you'd like to give yourself a little introduction, better than mine, I'll just give you.
My name is James Scott. I only live down the road in Horse and Jockey. I'm coaching now for maybe, I'd say, nearly 25 years, giving away a bit of my age, but I would have started coaching when I was in secondary school, and I'm working for the FEI for the last 18 years. Would have worked as North Tipperary Development Officer. I would have worked in the Emerging Talent Programme as coordinator of that for girls, and I'm currently now the Women's Under-17 head coach.
Brilliant. Okay, so we have a few questions lined up on my little whiteboard that I will never show you because my handwriting is shy. Growing up, James, did you get into football by playing, or what way did you get into it?
The biggest thing for me was Italian 90. I think I was 8 then. And that tournament was just unbelievable. Like, the country just went mental. I was just watching on TV, and then I was obviously watching the matches. I can remember where I was for every match nearly. And after that, then we had obviously USA '94 and whatever, and everyone was just mad into football. So I would have probably come from a kind of a GA background. My grandfather won an All-Ireland actually with Kilkenny, and my father won a minor All-Ireland with Tipperary. But I don't know, just football hooked me, and I definitely would say it was Italian 90. And then on my local club to my borough, St. Kevin's, I would have played there, underage, and I would have played a bit for Peakville as well. Would have played a little bit for Kilkenny before they finished up in the League of Ireland, So I really enjoyed playing. Probably around youth football was when I was kind of I was doing really, really well.
Buckley Park with Kilkenny, was it?
Yeah, Buckley Park, yeah. So I see CK United now are doing it up, so it's great to see that back.
There's a lot of work to do, because I was there a couple of years ago, and it's really run down, but hopefully to get it up and running.
Yeah, please God,
Going back to two Malvern St. Kevin's, that's why I had the question of playing career, because I saw you in a few pictures on the walls when I was there.
Yeah, so it was it was a really good group. We had underage coming up along. We had some really good players and so on, and again obviously a club for Shane Long and a few really good players, Michael Rafter and whatever. But I suppose it was junior football when you really had it coming together. Ken Ryan was there, junior international. Danny Graham, Conor Bannon, Paul MC, loads of really good players. Definitely gave 2-3 years there playing junior, and we came up through the leagues and into the Premier League and TSNDL, which was then probably one of the best leagues in the country. Really, really enjoyed that. And then I moved to Kilkenny in the League of Ireland, But
Brilliant.
I suppose that was around the time when coaching started to become a little bit more for me, even though I was so young, still playing.
Yeah.
And I always say actually doing the coaching courses really helped me playing as well. But then I had a choice to make. I think it was about 25 when I joined the FEI, and I knew I couldn't be, away maybe during the week, missing training and maybe missing some matches and then be expected to play and so on. So I started to step away. I think the last time I played actually was with Holy Cross FC. I played one game for them, and we won actually the Shield. Scored a winning goal, and I came away and my hip was killing me, so I never played after that.
Hung up the boots straight away.
Yeah.
What position did you play normally?
I would start the first playing right back, when I was underage, and then I kind of moved. I ended up playing centre forward, was where I mainly did.
Scoring winning goals and everything,
I had a really good year probably when I was playing youths with Peakville. We won the league, the cup, won the Munster Youth Cup, and I think we lost in the semi-final of the FEI Youth Cup, and I think I won the Tipperary Youth Player of the Year that year as well. It was just an unbelievable year, so I really enjoyed that.
And you were saying you joined the FEI when you were 25. When did you get into coaching, or how did it come about that you said, right, I'm going from playing into coaching?
Yeah, so I suppose, it's natural enough, when you are so much into football and so on, that you also look at the coaching as well. And I suppose, fairly young, I started to think about what I wanted to do and so on. And when I was, when I was in primary school, we played in what would be now the kind of 5-a-side schools competition. Which Snickers 6-a-side then it was, and we actually ended up winning the All-Ireland. What I done actually was started to coach that team maybe 2 years after I left my primary school. Went back, started coaching that team and coached the team the year after. And I just said, geez, I really enjoy this, and kind of imparting kind of your knowledge or whatever. And then when I went to college, I went and done sports management in UCD, and part of that was doing coaching courses as well. But actually, I hated it. Like I think I lasted 6 months, like, because I went from like, around local area to like, 300 people in a lecture in UCD, like, and
Jesus,
you're not knowing people and stuff. So
it can be very intimidating.
yeah, it really was, like, and I just didn't fit in on it. I just didn't really enjoy it. And then I went back and done business, in Waterford, WIT it was called then.
Yeah.
And when I finished that degree, then I went into like banking in Dublin and stuff like that, like, but I had done my coaching courses all along as well, like, so at that stage I definitely had my youth cert and maybe starting my UEFA B license, like,
Brilliant. And so, like, going down to international management, how long have you been involved in? I know you're coming up through the years, like, you were first person to educate me. Kickstart one back about 11 years ago.
Yeah, maybe.
2015.
Yeah.
So when did you get into the international management side?
Yeah, so look, when I started in 2008, I think I would have done my A license that year as well. And then that's kind of like, your highest kind of coaching qualification per se.
Yeah.
So I started to do a lot of kind of emerging talent squads and so on, which would have been, in, I think it was Carlow I would have started off. And then I would have moved to Limerick and been in that centre. And then I would have met a person called Niall Harrison, who would have been like my mentor as such.
Yeah.
And like he seen me and seen that I was kind of like really into the coaching and working for the FAI and all that. So then he started me to look after squads that were kind of a step down from international football. Like, so I would have assisted him first, and then I would have taken squads myself. And like during that time, like we would have had like Sequeivin Kelleher, Nathan Collins, players like that, like would have been on squads, like, and it gave me a great experience. And then Paul Azam actually took the under-16s, former kind of St. Pat's great, was a League of Ireland legend.
Yeah.
He would have taken the under-16s boys team, and he asked me to come in as assistant coach. So probably gave 2-3 years as an assistant with boys teams, like, so probably a lot of my experience would have been with boys, but when I was development officer in North Tipperary, it was boys, girls, and so on. So I had a lot of experience with girls as well, like. And then when I finished that role, I would have taken on I think it was 2019, I would have taken on the under-17s. So that was my first season with the under-17s.
What, 6 years now, is it?
Nearly 6 years. Like, there's been a bit of a restructure at the moment, like, so I'm not sure going forward will I be boys, girls, or whatever, like, but I'll still be an international coach. But like for the rest of the season, I'm under-17s head coach. Yeah.
And what would be the difference? I know obviously between head coach and assistant. Would there be much more into it being a head coach rather than
the head coach, like, ultimately head coach, like, you're responsible for 20 girls, like, and you're responsible for getting them, like, next week we're going to Sweden, so we're there for 12 days, like, they're under your care, like, and like, I really mean that as well, like, because, like, sometimes people think about coaching, think about like the X and O's and winning and so on and so forth, but my philosophy has always been develop the player, develop the person, like, so very much want them to leave like our group, like, having taken on some life skills and so on, like, so when they're away with us, like, we look after everything, like, and hopefully, like, they have a really, really good experience, like, that's number one, like, and then obviously if things go well on the pitch, like, and sometimes that's a byproduct as well of having a good environment, like, so I'm very much about culture, environment, and have a lot of kind of mantras.
Having structures in place so everyone is involved, no one's left out.
100%. Like, I mean, like, you go away next week, like, and you have 20 players, like, I mean, 11 start the game, like, and you might have, I think, maximum 5 subs, like, we call them game changers, even that language, like, or game finishers, whatever, like, it's just simple little things that you can bring in, but like, that's straight away, like, even if you use everyone as 16 players, it's going to be 4 players.
Like, the word sub is like such a, I'm not starting. Whereas game changer, as you said, gives more of a, okay, well, maybe they might come on.
And it happens, like, players come on, like, and like, again, one of the biggest things as well is mindset, like, so what's your mindset when you are coming on, like, that you can change a game and make a difference, like, so I think like sports psychology is massive.
I must remember that one.
No problem. Every day is a school day.
There you go. So you're learning stuff even from James still. We talk about international management. What would be the biggest challenges that you faced, or known that other head coaches would have faced?
Look, one of the hardest things is, like, that you don't have the players that often. Like, so people think, oh, James, you in Dublin this weekend? Are you coaching the girls? No, you're not. Like, 2 weeks ago we were in Spain for 6 days. And I think the weekend before that, we had 2 days in Dublin of camp, and now we go for 12 days in Sweden. But, like, that, like, seems like unbelievable amount of days, whatever. But, like, we hadn't seen him since October, like, so we don't have, and it's one of the hardest things. So then it comes that you're, like, recruitment, you're seeing players, like, we have players, based in the Republic of Ireland, play for Shamrock Rovers, Shelburne and so on. But we've also players from New Jersey, New York, Canada,
Yeah.
Chelsea, 2 girls from Chelsea. Like,
Was
so
it?
you're trying to
Brilliant.
keep tabs on everyone, like, you know. So, you know, that for me is difficult. And, like, and then the simple things as well, like of, you know, you have to pick a squad of 20. Like, there's 30 or 40 girls that have a really good standard.
And
like,
within
you know?
that age bracket, they are going through the growth spurts and things like that. So they could be technically good this month, and in a few months' time, they could be.
Probably a little bit.
Probably, you know?
Probably the girls is probably a little bit younger. Like, they go through that a little bit quicker than the boys and so on. But like, again, all things you need to take into account. Like, I mean, being straight, like, you know, when you're a male in a female environment, menstrual cycle, all that stuff is massive. Like, and you have to educate yourself on that. Like, you know, and some people kind of go, I'm not going to talk about that.
Going with an open mind.
100%. Like, so you know, it was a big thing when I came in. That I said, like, right, if I'm going full time now coaching female players, like, you know, like ACL injuries, for example, 7 times more likely than men. Like, so you need to, 100%. Like, so there's so many things that you do need to think a little bit different and educate yourself on and so on. Like, and then, like, you look, the simple stuff is next week we go to Sweden. It's going to be -5 some days. We have Germany in our first game. You know, easy enough game against Germany.
So look, about 5 or 6 minutes for you.
Yeah, and then Denmark's our second game, and Sweden's our third game. Like, so, like, the pressures of, like, playing them games and
especially
and so on.
The surroundings as well. Like, the environment is big as well.
Yeah, and it's probably a little bit extra special this year because the actual Euros, if we qualify, are in Northern Ireland, like, which would be unbelievable for us. Like, you know, up the road, like, you know, and we get unbelievable support. Like, so, but the only thing is we need to top that group, like, which is going to be an unbelievably tough thing to do. But you never know, like, you know, and you have to go in with that mindset. Like,
hopefully that happens.
Yeah.
And we talked about the challenges of it. What about the rewarding factors, like seeing players progress on the first teams and things like that? What would be, in your opinion, the rewards of international? Management.
Look, I think, you know, look, the obvious one is you see, like, Jessie Stapleton, Ellen Malloy, Abby Larkin would have been captain for us a couple of years ago now. I just looked actually yesterday. She's actually near, like, in the top half of caps now. She's like 31 caps, like, you know, and I would still see her as, like, you know, just Abby, like, you know, she's, I've only seen her as nearly a teenager, but now she's in her 20s, like, you know, it's mad, like. But Jessie Stapleton as well is very similar. Erin McLaughlin, Tara Hannes, loads of girls have come through that have gone to senior, and, you know, that's lovely to see. But, like, sometimes it's just the small things like that. Like, if you meet someone 10 years down the line or whatever, and they go, geez, we had a great time, and you still have a good relationship with you. And they say, you know, we played in Gaynor Cups with you, or Kennedy Cups. Like, that's class, like, because the reality is there's very few Abby Larkins, like, and you know, and it requires a little bit of luck and this, that, whatever, like, you know, but hopefully people come into your environment, they've learned something and they've taken away to everything they do, like, you know. So, you know, it's sometimes the little rewards, the little thank yous.
You know, the percentage of players progressing onto international teams or even progressing onto first teams is very slim.
Yeah, like, you know, look, it's actually at the moment, you know, you'd be pretty happy how it's going, and a lot of girls are actually going to England now as well and playing, like, professionally as well, like, which is absolutely super. But again, you know, we do have to be careful. Like, the women's game is growing still. Like, it's not there. Like, so, like, you know, if you go and you're like, if you go and you get a contract with Arsenal as a 18, 19-year-old, like, you're nearly set for life now as a male player. But, like, as a female player, even someone like Katie McCabe's doing very well, but she will need something when her career finishes as well. Like, you know, and you know, so like, I'm always trying to say to the girls, like, look, education is number one. Like, get your education, and then, you know, so you always have something to fall back on. And obviously the women's game is growing, like, even the last 5 years, it's just unbelievable. So, like, in 5 years from now, it probably might be that thing, like, where you have, like, really good contracts and so on. Like, so, you know, please God, that's where it goes. Like,
talk about the women's game growing. I was in my UP license, I said cert, UP license last year with a guest speaker, and I won't mention names or clubs or anything like that, but he was in a Premier League academy as S&C coach. This is the physical block we were going through. And he was saying about, when the boys will be doing their S&C, the girls will just be told to, you know, just do your bit in the corner. But then he had a clip of them coming in, and they were lifting heavy, the same as the chaps, the lads. And that team actually went on to win the Champions League at senior level. And if you're watching, you can figure it out who it is. I don't want to say the year.
I know who it is.
Yeah, you know who it is. But so see, like you said, the women's game is growing, and S&C is a huge part of it as well. You know.
Yeah, like, I mean, look, it's simple. Like, you know, I mean, you know, and like, for a while it was like, oh, geez, no, we can't do this, can't be different with it. But, like, pretty early as well, and so on. Like, and, you know, into our week next week, gym is, like, part of our week out nearly every day, bar match days and travel days. Like, we're in the gym as well. Like, and I remember we were in Spain maybe 2 years ago, and like Spain would be the the top. Like, you know, I mean, they're unbelievable underage, senior, in women's game, unbelievable. Like same as men's, really. Like, but like we had a meeting room right beside the right beside the gym. And like we're in there having meetings, whatever. Like the Spanish players are just in there like 24/7. Like it's just unbelievable. Like, and sometimes when people think about Spanish players, they think about like they're technically really good and this, that, whatever. But like physically, they were just outstanding as well. Like, you know, so it is a massive part now, and really like, and you can see it now. A lot of clubs like are doing it. It's hard for us, like, because you know we don't have the players that much, but when we have them, we do it. But like all the clubs now are really taking that on board as well. Like, you know. Yeah.
Getting onto your coaching career, going through the licenses and the certs and the badges and whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get up to the pro license?
So I would have started in 2003 was when I done the youth cert.
Yeah.
And
was that the first one back then, or?
No, it wasn't actually. Sorry, the first one I'd done was like a level 1, or it was an intro to coaching or something. It was in UCD when I done that course.
Yes.
And then like I think the youth cert was around 2003. I think UEFA B license 2005, and like I would have. Unfortunately, I done my pro license during COVID, like, so like it was difficult. Like, you know, I mean, for example, one of the hardest things my biggest inspirations would be Alex Ferguson, a big Man United fan, like, and we actually, part of the course normally would be you go to UEFA and you have guest speakers, and Alex Ferguson was due to be one of the speakers in UEFA where you'd actually meet him in person.
You were sick in that,
But it was online, of course, like, you know. So that, I think I might graduate in that maybe, was it 2023 maybe, or 22 or something.
Does it take 3 years to complete, does it?
It takes maybe 18 months, like, you know. Yeah.
Because of COVID, it was delayed.
Yeah, it was probably delayed. There was different blocks called off and whatever, like, but yeah, I would have definitely gone on the course before COVID, and then COVID, so it was probably over 2 years we done it, like, you know. But again, like the pro license is completely different. Instead already the A license is your kind of pinnacle of coaching.
Yeah.
But like your pro license is that management, and like managing, like, you know, boards, and managing finances, budgets, managing like periodization.
So like 80% to James Scott's pocket and 20 to the club, is it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to start wrapping things up a little bit. So anyone who's in this chair, the nice comfy chair, I get the hard old joke. We asked the guest for a bit of advice.
Yep.
So anyone that may be watching.
Yeah.
So the question I have written down, if I can read me on writing, any players that are aspiring to get into an international team, what would what would you be looking for, first of all, for a player, say, that's eligible? What would the stereotypical head coach of an international setup be looking for?
Like, look, you have the simple ones of technical and tactical, like, you know, and like you have to be technically good now, like, you know, in every position, like, even, you know, we speak about language like a goalkeeper, but like a lot of people now call it a goal player. Like, you have to be good with your feet as well, your distribution and so on. It's a massive part of the game. Like, so every position now you need to be technically proficient. And then you say that, and then you go and you see the likes of Spain, it's just on another level. Like, but like technique is massive. Obviously, you need to be tactically, like, understanding of my role and responsibility in the position and so on. But I think, you know, stuff that we spoke about already, like physically, is becoming like massive now as well. Like, so can players, like, and it, like, I always use the example of Denise O'Sullivan, like Denise O'Sullivan, like, beside you is like, she's tiny, like, you know, and she looks like kind of small frame, everything, like, but she's so strong.
She knows how to use
She's so strong. She knows how to use her body, like, and so on, like, so it's not necessarily you need to be this, that, whatever, but, you know, you need to be, you know, mindful of how you use your body, how you turn,
more so mindset, as you're talking about earlier. You know?
So, like, and that again, like, it's kind of bringing on, like, to the 17s, like, say, to the 17s, like, the three things are massive now, is like the position, like, and position proficient, like, so really focusing on your position, because we still now go out, and I see a lot of sessions where I would call them midfield sessions, where there's a lot of possession and there's a lot of like central kind of stuff and whatever. But like, if you're a fullback, if you're a winger, if you're even a centre forward, you need to be working on that position really specifically, your runs, your touches, what you do in the game, you need to do in your session. So it's like a little bit of individual development now as well. Like I spoke already about, like, you know, physical, but like football fitness.
Yes.
So, like, you know, but when I speak about football fitness, I mean like absolutely everything, like, you know, so you need to be 24/7. Like, if you're saying I want to be the best, like, it's not like, oh, I go training and I look after myself and I'll give it everything in training. It's off the pitch, what you eat, your nutrition, sleep is number one, recovery, all that stuff is absolutely massive. And the last thing, and like, it really is probably the most important and the little kind of like 5% between nearly making it and not making it is mindset. You know, what's your mindset and so on. Like you surround yourself with people, and there's a lot of people who tell you what you want to hear, like, you know, and say you're great and this and that and whatever, and it doesn't do people great. Like at times, like I always say to players, one of the biggest pieces of advice is surround yourself with people who tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, right? Because and sometimes what you need to hear is tough stuff and it's a bit of tough love or whatever, like, but like it will bring you along, like if you are open and listen to it. So, you know, like even simple things like in games, like we've little things like think next action, which is like you make a mistake in a game, forget about next
some
action.
Players, they make a mistake, like, oh, that's
not the right and you can see it, like, you know, and like even we've a little thing as well called game face, which is just something we came across. I think Dan Abrahams he was a sports psychology, and it's just literally like, you know, the physio tape, and players have a couple of things on it.
Oh, neat. Yeah, he'd read it.
Yeah, it's just a little reset, like, you know, so like, you know, and we have like even group resets and so on, like, so like that's all stuff again back kind of to mindset and whatever like that. You just need to leave
when I was in Wexford, the goalkeeping coach on the team that I was part of was saying to me what he tells his goalkeepers, and he was picking up John a little black bit from the astro. Yeah. He's saying, right, or a bit of grass, throw that over your shoulder. Yeah. He said, go try and find it. The same piece you want. That's a mistake in the game. You can't rectify it by trying to find that same piece. Just get on with it. You know, that's brilliant. Like, you know, his analogy of putting it. You know?
So like it just, and like I say to players, like, look, you don't need to do this. You find whatever it is that gets you back in your zone, like, you know. Yeah. And so like, mindset is so big, like, you know, so big. Yeah.
Right. Great to have you on, James.
Lovely. Thanks very much. Great to be here.
That's it for this episode.